Papa Squat! Konnichiwa! And yes, it's this shirt again because I just leave it here and I put it on when I record these. And then I take it back off and put on what I'm normally wearing. And I need to swap it out for a shirt that I wear less frequently than this. But anyway, today we're going to listen to something by Missy Elliott. Somebody had recommended it earlier today, and I was like, that sounds like a fun song to listen to. And I really like Missy Elliott, and I'm familiar with her from the music I do know. Like, a lot of it is because it happened right when their hip-hop and rap and everything really had started to hit the mainstream and really became the main driving force in music. Which I would say is around 2000-ish, and I'd give that up to 10 years earlier, maybe a little less than that, but definitely right around 2000 is where it really started to take over, and that's when Missy Elliott had first come out. The song we're going to listen to, I've forgotten the name of, You Don't Know, featuring Lil Mo. Again, the name Lil, I hate. But that's not Mo's fault. And this song that we are going to listen to is off of her 1999 song, The Real World. This was the second studio album by her, Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, released on June 22nd, 1999. Let's see, the album is noted for adding a raunchier and darker style to Elliott's music, as well as including the overt political use of the term bitch. The album features guest appearances from BG Juvenile, Lil Mo, Nicole, Beyonce, Eve, Eminem, Lady Saw, Da Brat. Oh, I haven't heard of her in a long time. Aaliyah, it's Aaliyah. Big Boy of Outkast, Lil Kim, MC Solar, and Redman. Oh, a bunch of good people. I know Redman too. Anyway, it debuted at number 10 on the US Billboard Top 200 chart, selling 161,000 copies, certified platinum. So anyway, it was popular, and Missy Elliott is awesome. And let's jump in here to Missy Elliott with Lil Mo and You Don't Know.
Now see, the one thing I like about the niggas is that they can fess up to one of their boys that they've been sleeping with the same chick and laugh about it. But see, a woman could never admit to another woman that she been sleeping with a man. Cause if that ever happened to me, I would call your house and be like...
So I want to pause right there, and I'll back up a little bit. Because what this really reminds me of, in a weird way, are the old, like, 1950s, and I might be totally off on the time period for this, kind of story songs that they had, like Leader of the Pack, where they would, the singer would talk over the music and tell some story, which is very much what's going on here. And it's something we actually hear a fair amount of in music these days, which is, I hadn't really thought of that before, but it's true. At least I think it's true. And I find it really, really cool because that's what my mind went to. It's like, oh, okay, I recognize where this sort of idea is coming from. It's those old kind of story songs that people told. Anyway, I backed up a little bit, and we can hear the transition now to hear when she says, if somebody did that to me, I'd call up their house and...
Other woman that she been sleeping with a man. Cause if that ever happened to me, I would call your house and be like, yo, don't you got a man? Why you fucking with mine? See, I've been through bad times. Get your mind off my...
And her voice, awesome, by the way, but the way she's singing is so very much R&B. Like, it very, very much sounds like songs, the same sort of vocalization you would hear from a 70s song or, some types of 80s songs, things like that, but really a nice feel to it.
must be lonely. Why you messing with me? But it won't be easy to get my baby. You don't know who you're messing with. Most of them leave with their car doors bent. Yeah. I'm so pissed you gon' make me flip. Hello? I'ma teach you not to touch my shit. For real?
Good lyrics.
I be calling his house when you're not around. Don't make me want you. You know how I get down. Somebody told me, but I ain't tripping off you now. If you were doing your thing, he'd still be with you. You don't know who you're messing with.
Great voices. I mean, just fantastic voices.
I'm so pissed you gon' make me flip. Hello? You know who this is, bitch. I'ma teach you not to touch my shit. Yo, who this for real, man? You know what I can't believe you.
The other thing I find really interesting, and just happened to hit me when they had that recording of the people talking to each other, that's something that's relatively new in terms of how often it's used. Like, we've heard it in old songs where they were talking on the phone or, something or made it sound like that. But there's been a lot of that done in music in the last couple of decades. I can think of songs from like Mike Doty and I'm trying to think what else. Sonia Dada, I think, had a song like that. But there's a bunch of stuff that's like that, and it's really kind of interesting because it seems like it maybe grew out of the whole sampling aspect of things, and then they started sampling anything that is digitally recorded, which is now everything on your phone and video and blah blah blah. And so there's so much more to sample from. Anyway, I'm totally off track here, but I like the song so far, and it's just sort of pleasant and funny.
Hello? Show me some respect. Yo, who this? For real, man. Yo, this is Mo. You playing a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying? Yo, this ain't no game. It's not a game. Oh, okay.
An early use of who dis.
You want some real bullshit now. You know what? Why don't you just come to my house, bitch? You know? Yeah, I come through. Yo, where you live at? Ask your nigga where I stay at. Please. He ain't got nothing to do with this. He ain't got nothing to do with this. Ask him where I live at. When that same stuff you was on last year, when I had to come through there last year. What? And I do it again, cause you ain't keeping none in check. You better keep your man in check and keep him around my house. You bitch. No, I will. You don't know who you're messing with. You don't know. Most of them leave with their car doors bent. Blow out heat like I'm an air vent. Trick, you know this is. Don't front. I'ma teach you not to touch my shit. Yeah, I'ma teach you not to touch my shit. You done took it too far. I'ma hop in my car and you up, bitch. You done took it too far. I'ma hop in my car and you
That's a cool transition. That was really neat, and it's actually really surprising because I'm thinking about it. Normally, you would very much expect for that song to just kind of wrap up then, because they sort of had their talk with each other, and you'd think it could just go on like that forever, and however people get along. But what's cool is instead of doing that, they've completely switched. They've completely changed the whole arc of the song by switching thematically here to somebody getting really pissed off at the other person and going to get them, and it really does make the whole song completely different. It's also kind of funny, as I'm sitting here, I have a pretty good view of the image here. And her face up here is perfectly seeable and it's lit well, but then her reflection, it's much darker, and it looks like she almost has a black eye, and there's a big shadow across her cheek and chin. So it's funny because it's that whole like, here's what you're expecting, and then here's what you're gonna end up getting. And it's pretty cool to see the two sides of that represented even in the album artwork or the marketing artwork.
Cause I'm that chick, yo, that same chick. But I ain't with that playing that game shit. Start calling that name shit, and I'ma get on that same shit. That new shit, that call you crew shit. That what you wanna do shit. Boy, is yours, keep that nigga. Beat my ass, prove it.
You been sucking his dick, tasting my clip. Just the side chick, on the side bitch. I'm the prize bitch, keep it silent.
I love her style of rap.
Baby darling, now word one to tell the family.
Around your crew, you's a bad bitch. Gas, you talking mad ish. Toe to toe, shoot the 5, girl, you get that ass kicked. What you think I'm gay, man? Shit is real, I ain't playing.
Nice.
Yo, I got your mom's praying.
It's gon' get risky, fuck with Missy. I'ma shoot you where your ribs be, so you can feel me. Ain't it real, B? You so filthy, and you're mildy, not appealing. Drum roll.
Nice. So cool.
You done it now.
I want more of this song.
You done it now. She's mad, man.
Oh, love it.
She's mad, man.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Let them two girls fight. Wow.
Yeah, that's great. The second half of that, or the second two thirds, the third third of it. Wow, love that. The whole feel of it was fantastic. Really, really liked that a lot. That was great. I actually like. I wish it were more of the second half or last third of that song, whatever it was, because man, it was really cool, and I want a whole new song like that. I don't want the first half at all. I don't even care anymore. It was fine, but I want more of that second half. That was fun. Very cool. Thank you for recommending this. It was somebody new, I think, just today, and like I said, I saw it and was like, that sounds like fun, and guess what? It was. Pop Squat! Trucking out. That's it. That's all. Have a good weekend. Happy Martin Luther King Day, MLK Jr. Day. I always forget. But I guess that's Monday. But we get a 3-day weekend for it. Or at least I hope you get a 3-day weekend for it. Bye bye.